I'm giving this episode of SmackDown an 8 out of 10, so here's the recap of everything that happened. Kick off the show with a fatal 4-way contract signing between Roman Reigns, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. But while these three came out and actually signed the contract, Roman Reigns did not show up. In fact, it was Paul Heyman that showed up and trying to convince everyone, including Nick Aldis, that this match at the Royal Rumble should have been a one-on-one match, and Roman Reigns is not going to sign the contract until that happens. Nick Aldis responded saying that if Roman Reigns is not going to sign the contract, he might as well have Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight face each other in the triple threat match for the vacant undisputed title at the Royal Rumble. This pissed off Paul Heyman and he started going on to a rant before being interrupted by LA Knight, who also got interrupted by AJ Styles, and LA Knight and AJ Styles would then have a brawl against each other. While those two were gone, Randy Orton had a conversation with Paul Heyman, saying that he's not only gonna beat Solo Sikoa later on in the main event, but he's going to RKO Roman Reigns. Legado Del Fantasma defeated the LWO in the 6-man tag team match. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits called out the final testament, to which they would respond later on that night, and now the two factions are set to have a face-to-face next week. Pretty Deadly lost a tag team match against Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, who finally dropped his stupid gimmick of being Butch. We then had the Kevin Owens show with special guest, the United States Champion Logan Paul, where Kevin Owens promised that he would show up at the Royal Rumble without the cast. He even removed it before being sucker punched in the face by Logan Paul. Kayden, Carter, and Katana Chance defended the Women's Tag Team Championship against Isla, Dunne, and Alba Fyre, the Unholy Union. And after successfully defending the titles against Unholy Union, they would be confronted by Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, setting up a Women's Tag Team Championship match for next week's episode of SmackDown. Carmelo Hayes challenged Austin Theory to a rematch next week on SmackDown, and Grayson Waller accepted on Theory's behalf. And because of their brawl earlier in the night, LA Knight and AJ Styles were set to have a match against each other on this episode of SmackDown. And while the match was happening, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa came out halfway through the match and interfered, causing a disqualification after Solo Sikoa, Samoan spiked LA Knight and AJ Styles and called out Randy Orton to set up the main event of that night. Jimmy Uso tried to interfere before he was attacked by LA Knight and AJ Styles. Randy Orton would RKO Solo Sikoa and pick up the victory. And after the match, Randy Orton would then RKO LA Knight and AJ Styles before he was attacked by Roman Reigns, who would then proceed to finally sign the contract, officially making the fatal 4-way match at the Royal Rumble. And as Roman Reigns is about to hit Randy Orton with the spear, Randy Orton countered into the RKO.